it's Dr. Cheryl here. Today's video is going to be all about health and fitness. It's spring, everything's blooming, and makes you want to get up and go. I actually have Garnett Henderson Sr. here. He's a certified therapist, a personal trainer, a bishop, a life coach, a stress management coach, just everything. He's awesome. He's also my dad. Today's exercises are going to be to help lift your butt and tone your butt. And then also he's going to give us some good eating habits to pick up to make sure we don't overeat and things like that.
Okay, what we're going to do a squat that's going to work primarily all the muscles in the upper thigh, the quadricep muscle. There's 4 muscles in there. That's why it's called quadricep. And when you do this, you want to make sure that you're squatting right. You don't want to just go through the motions. You want to get the most out of what you're doing, the most out of your time. So what we're going to do is I'm going to walk you through this. Straight on is going to demonstrate it. And basically you want to have your feet shoulder width apart, get a good base. And what you want to do is you want to have chest high, because it's going to kind of help to align you with the squat. You're going to pick a spot on the wall. Why on the wall? Because the way that you look is going to dictate the movement. So if you're looking down, then you kind of go down. And what was really important about that is whenever people squat with weight on their back, they don't want to go down like that. It's a lot of pressure on the back and it's going to be dangerous. And
we don't even like that way anyway. We like dumbbells better. It's just safer to put them on your back.
You can just let them go if you can't make the rep. You can just drop them. So you want to look up. It just makes the form better and everything, and allows you to have good posture through the movement, through the exercise. So basically, feet shoulder width apart, chest high. You're going to pick a spot on the wall. And your first part of this movement is your butt is going to be going back. You don't want your knees to go over your feet. Right? Yeah, you want to just demonstrate a couple more. There you go. That's a good squat. Really good squat. That's a good squat.
Remember, butt down.
Chest high.
Not knees down. Chest high.
Pick a spot on the wall. And the butt's going back first. All right. Very good.
I feel like I'm so on the spot. Okay.
That's okay. Now the next one, we're going to give you a variation. You might notice that you have problem areas in your thigh. You might say, I really want to develop the inner part of my thigh. I notice that I can stand to use a little bit more muscle there, a little bit more definition there, a little more cut there. Right? So basically what this exercise is going to do, it's going to help you to work on, to isolate the inner part of the thigh. So what you want to do, you want to take a little wider of a stance, and you want to have your feet flaring out. And you want to do the same, you want to go through the same motion. Chest's going to be high. Pick a spot on the wall. And you're going to, first movement is your butt's going to be moving back.
The booty. Yeah,
and you should feel that more in the inner thigh. Feel that more in the inner thigh?
Mm-hmm. But,
and then when you come up,
in like your back, because you're like trying to make sure that you're working back muscles too. I feel
stabilizing, just help stabilizing the movement.
Trying to make sure I take my butt down first and not my knees, because a lot of people you want to just go, but that's not the proper way. You want to look up, chest up, butt back.
Exactly. That's the proper form. You want to make sure you use the proper form so you don't hurt yourself, and also the muscles that are doing the work is actually doing the work.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And as you try to get as deep as you can, because that's going to really work the muscle, but you don't want to go so deep to where you lose your form.
Exactly. And also too, to get an extra bang for your buck, since we're talking about butt here, is when you come up, give a nice squeeze when you come up. You know, because anytime you're pushing your pelvic forward, your glutes are doing that movement. So make sure when you come up, just to get that extra bang after you hit that squat, come up and give a nice squeeze.
So this exercise, what all does it work? It works the booty.
So let's get some terminology, some anatomical names here. You're working your quadricep, the biggest muscle in the body. So that's really important, especially if you're trying to lose weight, or if you're trying to tone up, you're trying to use a lot of calories. That means that's a big engine. Big engines require a lot of fuel. So you're going to be burning a lot of calories through using your legs. Also too, it's going to be working on the glutes, which is the butt. right? The glutes, you're going to be working on that. And straight on Gabe mentioned too, you're also working on a lot of stabilizing muscles too to help you to be able to do that movement. In other words, when you're doing that movement, your back's not just flopping all over the place. You're not just flopping. You got to keep that back erect and straight. So you're working on the spinate erectors too, because they're helping to stabilize that movement. So yeah, very good. So we're working on a lot of different things. And if you're holding dumbbells, you're working on the muscles in the forearm. If you're holding the dumbbells, so there's a lot of things going on there. A lot of things happening. Okay, so we did the variation for the inner thigh. Let's work on working more on the outer thigh. So basically what we're going to do is just going to bring our feet closer. The closer you come in, you're going to be working on the outer thigh. All right, so we're going to do the same movement.
Whenever the first one was a normal one, I was about shoulder width. Just bring your feet in a couple more inches, get close.
Now I'm going to say this with this. It's going to be a little bit tougher as far as keeping the correct form because she is in closer. She's not spread out. When you're spread out a little bit wider, you can get a deeper squat. But when you're in closer, you're not going to be able to go as deep.
Well, believe me, you still feel it. You feel it on the outside.
Okay, so let's go ahead and demonstrate that. Chest high, pick a spot on the wall, butt going back.
I'll show you from the side. Just look at the wall.
Chest high, spot on the wall.
Butt down. Butt down.
Now, to give you a little more information on this,
Remember, if you can clench your booty as you go up.
Exactly, get that extra. So that's like the tip. That's like that tip. That's like the icing on the cake. Well, we talking about cake. We're actually exercising, but you understand what I'm talking about. But basically, what you're going to do here is, if you can do more than 15 repetitions of this exercise, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go ahead and try to increase more intensity. When your reps get too high, that means that the muscle is not a whole lot of intensity on it. So that means you're not going to be building that lean body mass, that muscle size. So what you're going to do is you might want to, hold some dumbbells. You might want to slow the movement down, but you want to create more intensity on the muscle if you can do more than 15. And another key is, I got to mention this because your muscles can't count. Just don't do 15, don't just do 10. Say I did 10 and stop because that's the magic number. No, it got to be a true 10. That means that when you get to 10, you can't do 11. You can't do 12. You really took your muscles to their capacity because that's how they're going to respond to you. You got to take them to their capacity.
What's the name of this one?
This is going to be like a hip thruster, butt lift, if you would. So this is a
butt lift that doesn't require surgery.
No. Good old fashioned way. We earn it. All right. So basically, in this exercise here, you want to bend your legs as if you're going to do like a sit up or a crunch. So you want to bend your legs, right? You want to place your hands around your chest, above your chest. So now you're going to be using your arms for help. All the work is going to be pretty much coming from the muscles that really should be doing the work. So what we're going to do now is she's going to raise her butt and her back up off the floor. She's going to hold it for like a 3 count. 1, 2, 3. Make sure you get the good squeeze and then return back to the ground. And then she can do that over again. Now this is going to work a variety of different muscles, this exercise here. This is working the glutes. This is actually working the quads again. It's working the lower back. So it's working
already.
It's working a lot of muscles, right? And there's a variation. This is if you're advanced. Like when you get to a certain number, I said if you can get to do more than 15, you need to increase the intensity. Well, here go the intensity increaser for this exercise. We're going to just leave one foot on the floor, and now you're just going to do the same movement. Make sure you get the squeeze at the top. Try to hold it for that 3 count. No, it may be tough because you're one leg. 1, 2, 3, back down, right? 1, 2, 3, back down. And what you do on one side, you must do on the other side. 1, 2, 3, back down. 1, 2, 3, and back down. So that's just a nice way to add intensity. If the other way is getting too easy, you can do it that way. You can also increase the intensity by holding the count longer. We call that keeping the muscle under tension. Muscle under tension meaning that the muscle has to work longer to hold, to go through that contraction, because you're keeping the intensity on the muscle. I believe in, when you're talking about nutrition, keep it simple but effective. Sometimes we get too scientific and we lose those who are trying to follow what we're trying to talk about. So I'm going to keep it pretty simple. So one of the things that I want to talk about is trying to make better choices when you eat. In other words, let's say if you have a sweet tooth and you normally grab the Snicker bar. And let's say a Snicker bar carries about 360 calories at least in it. And it's about this big. There's not much to it. But in other words, if we're looking at trying to satisfy that sweet tooth and also get more full, we might want to look at maybe 2 oranges, which are only about that big compared to 1 Snicker bar. And you're going to feel like you've actually been eating a lot more than just eating a Snicker bar. So that's something that you want to think about. You want to eat more you want to eat more of a volume of food than calorie-rich food. Because when you eat more volume, it's going to make you feel like you've been eating more and you're going to feel more full. So that's one strategy I want to give you.
So basically you're saying something that's low calorie but of a big volume.
Exactly.
Versus something that's high calorie and tiny.
Exactly. Eating 1 cookie or eating an apple. Mm-hmm. You're going to feel like you're going to be more full eating an apple than you are 1 cookie.
Yeah, it's a healthier option.
Exactly, and you're getting more, and that kind of matters to me. I'm a guy and I like to eat, and so if I'm eating 1 cookie, I know it's just I'm not going to stop at 1 cookie. It might be the whole bag.
He's a guy who likes to eat, but us girls can eat too.
For the higher volume of food, but low calorie, it's compared to low volume of food, but high calorie. The other thing I'm going to talk to you about is being aware of how much you're eating and your portion sizes. For example, when we always want to get more bang for our buck when we go to the store. And sometimes that's in buying bigger, like family sizes, the family bags of potato chips and all these other things. But what I find out is you can easily lose focus of your portion sizes when you're doing that. So I would recommend getting single serving sizes. So when you get done eating that, you know that you shouldn't go back for more. You're very conscious. You have a visual of how much you're eating. And also too, if you happen to get something that's a family size, like eating some potato chips, because I don't believe in you can't eat, you have to only eat certain amount of food. I eat what I want to eat, but I just watch how much I eat of it. So let's say if you are eating potato chips, don't eat out of the bag. Because when you're eating out of the bag, out of that big family bag, you don't know exactly how much you're eating.
You're watching a show and the whole bag's gone.
Yeah.
So you're saying like maybe pour it into a bowl.
Yeah, pour it into a baggie or something like that and portion it out so you actually know exactly what you have a visual and you're more conscious. Yeah. Exactly. The key is truly we eat that stuff because it tastes good. You know what I mean? But we got to realize that when we're talking about eating it for it tastes good or eating it to fill us, it's two different things. Mm-hmm. So in other words, you don't allow the pie to be your whole meal. Mm-hmm. Because if you're allowing the pie to be your whole meal, then you got like probably about 2,000 calories just in that pie. But you just eat it to taste good. Mm-hmm. So you eat parts of it.
On the healthy stuff.
Exactly. Fill up on the healthy stuff and you're eating the pie for the taste.
Awesome. Thanks. Those are some really good health tips. Ones that I personally use and have worked for me. So hopefully they can work for you. Yeah, so I hope you really like these exercises in the video, the nutrition, portion control section as well. And come back next time. I'm going to have my dad, my personal trainer, my life coach, my therapist here for a lot of other videos. Frequently, he'll come in and give us some good, helpful tips and exercises and eating habit tips. So hope you like this video. Thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more. And remember, as always, share love.